big legs to begin with, but they look very heavy as he tries to run a little bit. And people are cheering Marquez, Marquez. We got us to fight this time, folks, as if we didn't the first 3 times. Look at these guys loading up shots. Here comes the bell in the 3rd round. Wow, how about that at the bell?
And there's that overright looping hand that caught Manny straight, right on the right side of his face. Here it is again, right over Manny's left hand. And Manny seems stunned, surprised.
Oh, he had everything going with that, didn't he?
And you know what? Not only does this give confidence to Marquez, but Manny hasn't been rocked like that as far as I can remember.
I don't remember it ever. All right, we go to round 4. So much for what I thought that Marquez was lethargic. He might be a little bit slower, but he found a right spot for that right hand, which was the jaw of Manny Pacquiao. He ticketed it, and he did get it off.
You know what? I don't know if this has any bearing into what's going to happen later on or how they feel after the fight. But it's a small victory for Juan Manuel Marquez to know that he put Manny Pacquiao on the canvas. Whether he wins or not, that is a small victory for Marquez.
It's a small victory for him, but he wants a definitive victory. He wants to drop him again and again if he has to. But, you know, you pointed out another thing, I mean, that after he knocked him down, he didn't assault him. He went back to counterpunching. And here they really, you know, this is scientific what they're doing right now. They're trying to figure each other out. Manny doesn't want to walk into that right hand. And you had just mentioned that he's not really able to avoid that big right hand. These are knockouts between rounds 3 and 6 for both fighters. 17 for Pacquiao, and Marquez has 10.
Well, this also may make Manny be a little bit more cautious and not as aggressive as he wanted to be. Because now that he's tasted Marquez's power, he might stay on the outside a little bit more.
Well, what I took in the first couple of rounds of being a bit lethargic, his shoulders are so much heavier and so much bigger that he definitely has added power. There's no question about that. And he's a great counterpuncher, so he doesn't have to be as crisp as a normal fighter would be because he's such a great counterpuncher.
Marquez is a very intelligent fighter as well. He's not going to commit mistakes that lead Manny to take advantage of something that might send Marquez to the canvas.
And nobody's winning this round, by the way. This is one of the real close rounds in the fight. And no matter how this goes, unless somebody's definitive in the last 49, 48 seconds of this round.
Well, I think that Marquez has landed a couple of good shots. He landed a really hard, stiff jab a minute ago that moved Manny.
There's Manny with a combination that steals rounds when you see a combination like that. But again, professional boxing is the hurt business. Those 3 heavy punches that Marquez landed, for me, would be enough to give him the round at this point with 20 seconds to go in round number 4.
I myself always ask myself to be redundant at the end of a round. Which guy would I want to be at the end of that round? Right now, I think I may have wanted to be Marquez so far.
And I would too, as he walked into another right-handed Manny. Downstairs goes Marquez, and he landed a shot. Bruce McTavish told me, you know, with the religion, with the problem with the marital situation and the distraction of being a politician in the Philippines, that boxing was number 4. But it seems like when he trains, he puts all his concentration on boxing. So, you know, we thought that there were no more distractions. But, you know, the one thing again, and again, this fight is very, very close. So we're not talking about Manny losing this fight right now. Although I have Marquez slightly out in front by 1 point. We'll see how it unfolds. But there are people that think the distractions are still there.
That was a great left hand by Manny. And Marquez took it
Boy, the crowd is really into it here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Marquez stiff with that jab, driving off the back foot. That's the right hand go. Actually, his punch. Oh, that's going to be scored as a knockdown. There was a light left hook, but it was enough to catch him off balance. So down goes Marquez. He'll take the standing 8 count. Not hurt at all. He was more off balance, but there was a left hook. So that negates what he did in a much more impressive way. Just a straight left hand. Back comes Marquez. That straight left hand by Manny caught him off balance, but look at Marquez battle back.
You know what? They said all week this was going to be a war. I had my doubts. I don't anymore.
Oh, no, I think you put that fear to rest. You can put that to rest, Jaime. Pacquiao tries to come in. Marquez trying to salvage this round now for himself. If he can win the round, he can have the round with him after being down. Manny filled with confidence again. Now that's one thing. Even though it was, straight right hand by Pacquiao. Marquez able to gobble out of. Here's Pacquiao trying to drop him again.
I think Marquez is hurt.
He may be. There's a shot. He is. He doesn't hang on. He fires back. Pacquiao is going to the finish right now. Marquez will have no part of it as he loads up shots himself. What a round of boxing this is. How about this, folks? Back and forth they go. Manny landing most of the shots. How about that round of boxing? Here comes the bell. It's all over in the 5th round.
And Marquez is all busted up. Marquez is busted on the bridge of his nose, and I think over the left eye as well.
Hey! Juan, how you feeling? The pain, man. The pain,
And here's a replay of the knockdown. First, the jab, and then he sort of steps on his foot, but at the same time, he connects with that straight left hand, and then Marquez goes down. I think it was a little bit of a combination of the punch and also that he lost his balance. But after that, Pacquiao absolutely took over that round, and he busted up Marquez.
Yeah, he saw it was up against that outstretched foot of Manny, and so he tumbled over that. At the same time, he got punched and he was off balance. But after that, as you said, is when the damage was done, because Manny busted him up with a cut across the bridge of the nose, and I think there's another cut as well.
And his nose may be busted because Marquez is breathing through his mouth right now, and it's only the 6th round.
Boy, this is something else. Well, we thank the world for Bob Arum to put this one back together, because this is a sensational fight to this point. And we're not even halfway through the fight, unless it's a knockout.
And see, he's bleeding profusely through the nose, so I think that nose is definitely busted.
Yeah, I think you're right, too. And you can see the mouth hanging down, which is very dangerous to get hit in the jaw. Now, the big surprise was Pacquiao was down in the 3rd, then he was able to knock Marquez down ever so lightly in the last round, but then he busted him up in the remaining part of the 5th round. And back and forth they go here in the 6th. And Manny's really into this thing now. Hands high, straight left hand down the middle. Every time he puts that on the top of the nose, I'm wincing from the pain that he must be feeling with that broken nose. I mean, look at the dip in the bridge of the nose. It's broken. Right on top of it again. What makes fighters fighters? Man, this is something else. These guys are so tough.
Well, you've got to be a special person to be a fighter. That's
They're
for sure.
a breed unto themselves, Jaime. And with over 10,000 fights called, man, I really appreciate that. And this is why, folks. Nice left hand by Manny, and that's his power shot again. That was the left hand that dropped Marquez in the 5th round, the last round.
And all that punishment that Marquez took in the last round definitely took something out of Marquez, because he's not moving like he was in the previous 2 or 3 rounds.
No, you just take a look at the heels of the two fighters, and Marquez is down much more. He sort of stumbles back that time. That's an indication that the legs could be a little weak, and they've got to be. Goes to the right hand lead. And he skips past him. Man, he's got plenty of legs.
It doesn't seem like Marquez has his.
No, but look at the difference in the size of the legs when we have a wider shot. You see that Pacquiao's got huge calves and very narrow the calves of Marquez. That's where power comes from. And here they are back into a war again to end the 6th round. And Manny went down. He hit him with a body shot. I don't know if he can get up.
He hit him straight on the chin.
He got him on the chin. He's knocked out. Juan Manuel Marquez has done it. He's knocked out Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao is still out. You know if he's hurt. It was on the far side. He caught him on the chin and blasted him in the body at the very closing second of the 6th round. What an upset. Juan Manuel Marquez has done it. He's knocked out Manny Pacquiao. Everybody from Mexico is thrilled. People from the Philippines are in shock. Here we go. Straight right hand right on the button. Whoa. Straight right hand knocked him out cold. Manny coming in and he walks right into it. Marquez had his body half twisted and Manny got caught right on the chin. Boom, right there. Perfect position was Marquez to land that shot. Manny knocked out cold. His eyes are shut right there. I saw a little punch with the left hand that I thought went to the body at the end, but it was already over. Here's the official announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the MGM Grand of Las Vegas, this fight comes to an end at 2 minutes, 59 seconds of round number 5. The winner by knockout victory, damas y caballeros, de Ciudad de México, Juan Manuel Dinamita